こんにちは、ハリケーンフットボールです。今回の教材はブライトンの三笘薫に関する動画です。ブライトンは衝撃の歴史的大敗となった7対0のノッティンガム・フォレスト戦から立ち直れるのか大事な試合となりましたが、FA カップ4回戦でチェルシーと対戦し、三笘薫の決勝ゴールによって2対1で勝利しました。前の試合と比較しても、歴史的大敗から立ち直ったように見えたプレーも、すべてがブライトンファンにとって素晴らしい試合でした。今回はアダム・マクドナルドチャンネルからのマッチリアクション動画で、三笘の素晴らしいゴールとパフォーマンスを含め、全員が良かったと話しています。どれだけ興奮しているのか、早速チェックしてみましょう。
Second half, let's get on to the goal. I remember thinking sort of 5 minutes before the goal how I really liked how Rutter was kind of travelling with the ball in those central areas and really just getting us up the pitch in terms of sweeping it out to Mitoma on the left, driving us up the pitch. We had a real ability. Everyone was just wanting to get forward with every attack, and I really liked that. And that's kind of how the winning goal came about. Rutter had the ball, swept it out to kind of to Mitoma on the left-hand side, who takes his man Gusto one-on-one, does well against him, gets the ball into Lamptey, who takes a shot, does it handball, and we'll get onto that. Takes a shot, bounces back to Rutter, who plays a lovely little deft ball over the top, dinked over into Mitoma, who takes it on his chest like that, and then finishes lovely with a little dink on the right foot. Now, there are a couple of handball shouts, we'll get into that in a second, but I thought Lamptey's playing that goal brilliant. Okay, nothing really came of it, the shot he made, but that tenacity, that ability, that desire to take the shot on, I thought was really commendable. Rutter, lovely vision with the initial pass to get the ball up the pitch into Mitoma, but then when it came back to him on the edge of the box, or was it on the edge of the box, can't quite remember, but in that central area to dink it back into Mitoma, see the vision, it was fantastic from Rutter. And then Mitoma doing what he does best in those central areas when he's coming from the left-hand side, and he was just sitting on the shoulder of the last defender, sitting, waiting for that run. And as soon as the ball played over, he's got that pace to get out there. He's got the best touch in the Premier League on his chest to get it into his path. And then the loveliest little finishing touch. Beautiful, honestly. I feel like I've seen that Karim Mitoma kind of goal. It reminds me of the FA Cup goal I think he got against Liverpool, was it? Where he kind of flicked up with one foot, then onto the other. And then that lovely little touch. It's a similar kind of finish, sort of, to that goal. And I thought it was so good. Classic Mitoma, beautiful technique, and just a lovely goal. It kind of looped forever and ever was going to go in the goal, and it did land in, and Cucurella was there sliding in. Oh, it was a lovely moment. And fair play to everyone involved in that goal, because it was a very well-worked goal. Now, look, we can ask our questions, was there a handball from Tariq Lamptey? Perhaps, probably it would have been ruled out by VAR. Was there a handball from Karim Mitoma? I think less so, but you can maybe argue it was kind of on the edge of that kind of shouldery sleeve aspect of the arm. But with that said, you got to take your chances with no VAR. I thought the whole team, to be fair to him in this whole game, were very good. I noticed speaking to the referee, being the first ones to get over to the referee, even after that Veltman challenge on Cucurella, I noticed he was the first one over to the ref to kind of sweet talk him. And I think, the ref gave the goal. And there was no, offside, anything like that. It was just more like the handball thing. And I think, to be honest, you will feel hard done by if you're Chelsea. But at the end of the day, they had plenty of chances to get back in it. And actually, it was quite refreshing to see a goal kind of going in, just seeing the raw celebrations. And if the ref's given it, the ref's given it. It was quite nice in that sense. But I thought really nice attacking play. The way we got up the pitch, fantastic. The way players were taking the defenders on. Obviously, Minte was doing that all game as well, but this was an example of Mitoma doing that. And then that kind of lovely technical ability from everyone, I thought it was so impressive. And then, really in that second half, I thought it was a real good performance for Brighton in terms of managing the game, but also kind of continuing to create chances. João Pedro came on. I thought he looked very good in his classic ability. I always think back to that Bournemouth goal where he was sat deep and he played it into Mitoma, who went in and scored. He did that a few times, kind of playing lovely balls in behind, kind of defence splitting passes. I, to be honest, thought Chelsea were played through quite easily at times, like a knife through butter. We saw Diego Gomez come on, look like a very tidy player. I really liked the way that every action he did was very clean and crisp. He won all of his duels I thought off the ball he was very smart in the way he got about the pitch. You could see his vision. He was always scanning. I think he looks like a really, really intelligent footballer and a really nice central midfielder in the sense that everything was just nice and polished. Every pass was crisp. Every lofted pass over to the wing was nice, and he had that ability on the ball to kind of switch the play. I really, really like that about him. I think a very good performance. But it was also a performance from the whole team where everyone had to be switched on. Everyone had to defend. You know, there were still chances going on. And, you know, Verbruggen in the second half had to make a couple of saves. He bounced back well from that. So overall, a very good performance, and credit to Fabian Herzler as well. Look, I'll still stand by. I think for me, the jury is still out on him. I always sort of wonder: is it players and momentum and atmosphere and just the fact we've got so many quality players that is actually kind of getting us over the line in some of these games, or is it tactical acumen? Look, I'm still absolutely 100% behind him. I've never said, and I won't say this season to get rid of him. However, I just want to be proved a little bit more, and more of these kind of performances. Bounce back ability, mentality, tactical acumen, stuff like this is what's impressive to me. And I know it sounds very high horse and righteous of me, but you know, that's more of the kind of thing that I think as a fan you want to see. And that personality on the touchline from him, like, we saw more of that. And it's easy in a win to show more of that personality. I get that. But yeah, a really, really good win, and one that kind of sets us up into the next few games to kind of bounce back. Obviously, Chelsea again at home next Friday night. Just under a week's time in the Premier League, you know, and we can go into that game full of confidence. You know, Brighton now, they'll probably don't lose it, but to be honest, would you rather be in the fifth round of the FA Cup and having beaten a fairly big team who would have liked to have gone and won it themselves, or would you rather have 3 points in the Premier League? That's a debate we can all have. But I thought it was a very, very impressive performance, and one that we can take into, you know, a period now which is going to be a little bit difficult, but actually this is a game that on paper I was earmarking and thinking, God, this is going to be tough. We'll probably be dumped out of the cup and then we're only going to have the league to focus on. But it's really, really nice to see this. Really, really nice. It's, you know, it's really, really positive to see that performance. And I think ultimately we've got to put it down to the bounce back ability of the players. It's a mentality thing and the individual quality that we saw and the tactical changes. Baleba made a massive difference him coming back in. But also those players, those wingers, Danny Welbeck up front, I thought was fantastic. Every player to a man was very, very good. Veltman, Van Hecke, Webster, Dunk, Lamptey, you know, Verbruggen after his mistake. You know, everyone played their part in this win. And I thought it was very, very good. Let me know what you thought of the win. Were you expecting it? I really wasn't expecting it. But it's so good to see, isn't it? And I thought Mitoma, you know, we saw Mitoma back to his best as well. That lovely touch, the lovely finish. And his ability to beat a man. It's you know, a player who was probably, you know, a week ago there was talk of him us accepting a bid, him moving on from the club. What a result to have kept him. And you know, who needs 75 million quid when you've got Carey with him? That's honestly my view, though. To be honest, I would rather have a good player on the books who can help us win football matches and finish higher up the table or progress in cup competitions than I would 90 million. Like, 90 million is great for the club, but like, I don't see the 90 million. And like, Brighton are in good nick. We don't necessarily need the money. As a fan, I'd rather just like watch players play well and like watch the best. But do you know what I mean? And keep up. Like, so who cares, man? We don't need 75 million. A great performance from him, showing his commitment to the club, showing the goals again against Chelsea, and a massive, massive result. Let me know what you thought. Were you expecting this result? Is the heat of Fabian Herzler now? Is it back on the squad? You know, how are the dynamics? Does that shut up the haters? Does that shut up the doubters? Where is it at? Do you back us to go and beat Chelsea in the league on Friday night? But what a result. What a good performance from everyone involved. And that bounce back ability and mentality, so good. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please do drop me a subscription. Hit that subscribe button below. If you're in your podcast feed, hit follow, hit subscribe, get involved. Like this video, like this podcast, and leave a comment below if you're on YouTube. It really, really helps me out. Let me know. Were you at the game? Did you enjoy it? What did you think was the reason we won that game? Was it a mentality thing? Was it a momentum thing? Was it a players thing? Was it a Herzler thing? Let me know your comments. Do you have faith in this season turning around from this point? Can this be the turning point? So thank you very much. Oh, I have to go have a lie down after that. That was a really, really fun game and a really, really good show. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you midweek to chat about whatever the story is then. And I'll see you next time. And as always, up the Albion.
次は解説です。一人で語っているスタイルだということもありますが、アダムの英語も聞き取りやすい英語だと感じます。 ネイティブやイギリス人がよく使いそうなフレーズも時折混ぜて使ってくれるので、ネイティブ表現を勉強するにも良い教材だと感じます。解説の中でもそういう便利な表現がありますので、本日の解説をチェックしてみましょ
う。He plays a lovely little deft ball over the top dink.
デフトは器用な、巧みな、手際の良いという意味の形容詞で手先の器用さやスキルの高さ、起点の効いた行動などを表します。例えば、サッカー選手が見事なパスを出したとき、また、ビジネスの交渉がスムーズに進んだときなどに使えます。スムーズで洗練された動きや行動に対してよく使われる単語なので、ぜひ覚えておきましょ
う。He plays a lovely little deft ball over the top dink. He plays a lovely little deft ball over the top dink. One I thought was really, really commendable.
コメンダブルは、称賛に値する。立派なという意味を持ち、努力、成果、道徳的な行動を評価するときに使われます。例えば、彼の努力は本当に素晴らしいという場合や、この環境保護活動は称賛に値するという場合に使えます。ビジネス、スポーツ、社会的な話題など、幅広い場面で使えるポジティブな単語なので、ぜひ覚えておきましょ
う。One I thought was really, really commendable. One I thought was really, really commendable. And I think, to be honest, if you will feel hard done by if you're Chelsea.
Feel hard done by は、不当な扱いを受けたと感じる。理不尽だと思うという意味のイディオムゼ。この表現のポイントはこのフレーズの構造で、done byは扱われるという意味を持ち、ハードを加えることで厳しく扱われる、不当に扱われるというニュアンスになり、feelを組み合わせることで理不尽だと感じるという表現になります。特に、スポーツ、仕事、試験、ルールの適用などで不公平さを感じたときに使われます。
And I think, to be honest, if you will feel hard done by if you're Chelsea, and I think, to be honest, if you will feel hard done by if you're Chelsea, every action he did was very clean and crisp.
クリーン&クリスプは明瞭でシャープな、すっきりしていて洗練されたという意味の表現で、これはイディオムというよりもネイティブがよく使う自然なフレーズで、特定の文脈で頻繁に使われるため、コロケーション、つまりよく一緒に使われる単語の組み合わせに分類される表現です。スポーツでは正確でキレのあるプレー。デザインでは洗練されてスッキリした見た目など、ポジティブな印象を与える際によく使われ、スポーツ、デザイン、音声表現など幅広く使える表現です。
Every action he did was very clean and crisp. Every action he did was very clean and crisp. In the sense that everything was just nice and polished.
パリッシュとは磨かれた、洗練された、完成度が高いという意味を持つ形容詞で、靴や床など実際に磨かれたものにも使えますが、スピーチ、プレゼン、デザイン、マナーなどに対し完成度の高さを表すときによく使われます。
In the sense that everything was just nice and polished. In the sense that everything was just nice and polished. Every jury is still out on him.
The jury is still out on は、まだ結論が出ていない。判断が下されていないという意味のイディオムゼ。このフレーズのポイントは、ジュリーつまり陪審員の比喩的な使い方で、本来、法廷で陪審員が判決を下す前の段階では、陪審はまだ審理中という状況であり、それが転じて、ある事柄について、人々の意見が分かれている、または十分な情報がないため決定できない状況を表しています。新しい技術の有用性、選手のパフォーマンス、政策の影響など、まだ結果がはっきりしていない話題に対して使われることが多いです。
The jury is still out on him. The jury is still out on him. Bounce back ability, mentality, tactical acumen.
アキュメンは洞察力、鋭い判断力、優れた思考力を意味する名詞で、例えばビジネスセンスがあると言いたい場合、リーダーシップのセンスや才覚と言いたい場合などに使えます。ビジネス英語や経営やマーケティング、リーダーシップ、戦略的な決断などの話題でよく登場します。
Bounce back ability, mentality, tactical acumen. Bounce back ability, mentality, tactical acumen. And I know this sounds very high horse and righteous of me.
ハイホースは偉そうな態度、上から目線を意味するイディオムで、自分が正しいと思い込んでいる人を指すときによく使われます。昔のヨーロッパでは、権力者や地位の高い人が、背の高い馬、つまり、ハイホースに乗っていたことから、自分を偉いと思っている態度を表す言葉として使われるようになりました。日常英会話や SNS、ニュースのコメントなどでよく登場し、特に、 議論や意見交換の場面で使われることが多いので、英語でのコミュニケーション力を伸ばしたい人には役立つ表現でしょう。ライチャスは道徳的に正しい、正義のというポジティブな意味で使われますが、時には偉そうに正義を振りかざすというネガティブな意味でも使われます。さらにカジュアルなスラングではめちゃくちゃかっこいいという意味でも使われるので文脈に注意しましょう。
And I know this sounds very high horse and righteous of me. And I know this sounds very high horse and righteous of me. And I know this sounds very high horse and righteous of me. This is a game that on paper I was earmarking. You think?
イヤマークは特定の目的のために指定する、割り当てるという意味を持つ動詞で、もともとは家畜、特に羊の耳にマークをつけて所有者を識別していたことから、何かを特定の目的のために確保するという意味になりました。特に資金、時間、リソースなどを特定の用途に確保するときに使われます。
This is a game that on paper I was earmarking. You think? This is a game that on paper I was earmarking. You think?
いかがでしたか？三笘薫は7500万ポンドか9000万ポンドか知らないけど、それでも売りたくないよ、といった感じでしたね。前の試合での歴史的大敗のショックは大きすぎましたが、たったの一試合で立ち直ったと言える内容と結果で、チームとしても三笘薫個人としても素晴らしいパフォーマンスだったと思いますし、三笘薫の存在意義とプライドをこの試合で見せていたような気さえしました。その大敗したフォレスト戦で戸田和幸さんや林良平さんに解説をしてもらいたかったのは、実際の解説にはそういう情報が全くと言っていいほどなかったからで、チームとして戦略として何がうまくいっていなかったのか、何が間違っていたのか、どのように改善できるのかというのを解説で聞きたかったなと思いました。このチェルシー戦は戸田和幸さんの解説でそういう論理的、客観的、戦略的な話も盛りだくさんでそういう意味でも楽しめました。次戦もプレミアリーグでのチェルシー戦となりますので、またこの調子を維持して、三笘の個人的なテクニックとチームとしての戦略的な良いパフォーマンスを期待して、林良平さんの解説も楽しみたいと思います。本日もご視聴いただきありがとうございました。またすぐにお会いしましょう。